Good morning and happy Saturday. My name's Michelle and I'm with Olive and 2U Studios. I'm here typically every single Saturday morning at 9:30 in the morning Eastern time for a fun-filled, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour, something like that. So, welcome to you if you're watching live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to you as well. I do encourage you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Surely you have. And then go ahead and hit the bell so you can get notifications. And if you like anything at all that I say today, give me a thumbs up. That helps me out and tells me that you like what I'm doing. So happy Saturday. I see some of our yarn use here. Dion's here. Good morning. Tracy's here. Rebecca's here. Tish, Becky, not Rebecca. Call her Becky. Jennifer's here. Lonnie's here. Tracy, Deborah, Valera. I love it. So many people showing up this morning. Michelle is here. Two Michelles. We got Michelle Squared going on this morning. So I love how just before I hit the go live button, I see like the weather report in the comments. Everybody's talking about the weather right now, right? So there's so much heat happening. I know, particularly in the South and across the plains, Texas, Oklahoma, all of those areas. And we actually got some warm weather here in Maine as well. Thankfully, the last couple of days have been a relief for us. It was, let's see, about an hour or two ago, it was 52 degrees here. So yes, I'm wearing a long sleeve sweater today, but we're going to get up to 80. So yeah, I was feeling a little guilty because my friends in the South, my friends in Florida are heating up. I think somebody said something like, yeah, it's, 95 degrees and heading up towards 108. It's really hot. I know. Hi, Belinda and Terry and Lorianne. Good to see you all as well. So I hope wherever you are, you're staying cool and comfortable, doing all the things that you need to do to stay safe, stay hydrated, and all of those good things. So we're going to get your mind off the heat, off the weather a little bit this morning while we talk about wool. Why not? Wool. Hi, Julie. Good to see you too. So many things to talk about again today. I keep saying that, but I say it only because it is true. We've got a lot to get to today. We've got brand new colorways in the shop, of course. Events on the horizon. Cannot wait to talk about the events happening. Yes, the rumors are true. I am planning a trip back to Central Florida in early September for two events that we'll be having at Needleworks, and also one of those will be virtual as well. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment and some other goodies for you today. We've got some value bundles for you today that are going to help you with your super summer sweater make along and save you some money, because who doesn't love to save money? But first of all, I want to get really quick to the beautiful colorways that are brand new right now. Now, we happen to be in August, but to be fair, these shipped out to the subscribers in July, absolutely on time. Our 2025 Cancer Awareness Series continues to crawl through the year. We are in July now in terms of our colorways, and our August colorways are being dyed up as we speak. Now, you might recall that each month sort of pays tribute to the cancer that is, or the cancers in many cases, that are being highlighted on the American Cancer Society calendar. Unfortunately, there are so many cancers out there that are wreaking havoc in people's lives that multiple cancers are in many of the months. Sherry and Terry of Lonesome Pine had decided to do a series, and they brought it to us at Olive and 2U Studios exclusively, where we're highlighting those. So each month there is a cancer colorway, a 100-gram hank that comes to you with a commemorative card with a QR code and some information on it about the cancers. And then also you get a coordinated stitch marker. Anne from Twin Mommy Creations creates those for us, and she does a fantastic job of coordinating them. Andrea's Hope is the 100-gram hank colorway this month, and it is a very near and dear to the heart colorway because it represents a cancer that is significantly impacting a family member, a dear family member of Sherry and Terry. And it's a beautiful colorway. It's a complex colorway. The color, and I'm not going to pronounce this cancer right. I've tried so many times and I apologize. I believe it's eliosarcoma, but I'm probably wrong on that. But it's kind of, it's it's a terrible, terrible cancer. It affects the soft tissue of the body, typically in the abdomen and those areas. Very invasive, very painful, very difficult to manage. So this particular colorway is based upon some of the details of that from the American Cancer Society. It is a beautiful tonal golden color with some really beautiful complex speckles in it. Now the light here on my camera is doing some funny things because it's not sure what to do and how to focus. So if I pull it out, you get a truer picture of that. But I was hoping to show you some of those really complex speckles because it is not simply a yellow colorway. It's got some really lovely definition in it. It's beautiful. It's going to bleach it out again here in a minute, I know, but I want you to see those gorgeous speckles because that takes really complicated technique, and Sherry and Terry do a great job on these. I love how the dye breaks and you can see the colors in that dye. Really a gorgeous colorway. So this is Andrea's Hope, and it is selling really, really quickly. Our subscribers, of course, theirs are already shipped. But if you're not a subscriber to the series, we can get you in the subscription if you'd like. But you can also purchase the skeins one-off as it is right now on the website. So Andrea's Hope, I happen to be showing it to you on Rawlings, which is, I think, my most favorite base. Beautiful because it's of course that superwash merino. It is silk and it's cashmere. Lovely drape, lovely sheen. So that's Andrea's Hope. And then Go for the Gold is the coordinating mini. Now you can purchase the mini in the fingering weight Alcott or in the DK weight Hawthorne. So whatever your pleasure is. And Andrea's Hope is available on multiple bases as well. So I know several of you are DK sock knitters. You love our Play-Doh base for that. You can absolutely get it on Play-Doh. It's available on Twain. So there's several choices for you there to pick up your Andrea's Hope. One of the things that I spoke about in our Yarn to Use Facebook group this week during kind of my little shop update live that I do in there typically every Thursday is the fact that our recipe for hope, which is a pattern that's being developed by Nancy Victorino of Knitwise TE. She's deep in the throes of developing that pattern. That's going to be available for you late this year or the beginning of 2026. And that pattern is going to allow you to take the 2025 Cancer Awareness Series colorways and create a really memorable object from those, something that you will have many opportunities to customize to help you remember people in your families or experiences with some of these cancers. There are some neat ways that you'll be able to customize those. So in preparation for the release of that pattern, now's the time to snag your colorways. Now, I mentioned in the Yarn to Use as well that we're working on a way to help you catch up on some of these colorways if you did not receive them or start purchasing them from the beginning of the year. We're not certain that every single colorway will be available. We're going to do our best though. So I recommend if you're interested in using these colorways for that project or perhaps for another project that you want to do on your own in a similar fashion, go ahead and snag them as they come out for the second part of this year. We'll see if we can get you caught up for the beginning of the year. We don't want anybody to miss out on the colorways that are most meaningful to them. So we're going to try to offer you a way to do that, and then also offer you a way to share some of your stories. Because as we know, these cancers have affected so many people by and large. And as I mentioned on Thursday in the group, Sherry and Terry could not have anticipated that any of these cancers would have so intimately affected them and their family this year, but it has, and that's how it happens. It's always unexpected. So that is our July 2025 Cancer Awareness Series colorway. Our August one will be out in a few weeks, and it's going to be amazing as well because they do a fantastic job of dyeing. So that is really good news in the shop right now. But I want to move on to some other things that we have for you. I want to talk first about the value bundles that we've created. And then I want to move into our events because so many of you are signing up for the events. And I'm really excited about that. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you in person and then seeing some of you online. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But I want to talk about these value bundles. And these are important right now because as we're getting ready for our Super Summer Sweater make-along using the Beautifully Basic Tee from Melissa Kimmerer, these are going to come in handy for you. Whether you're a seasoned sweater knitter or you're somebody who's been knitting sweaters just a very short time, or maybe this is your very first sweater, which excites me. I do think we might have some brand new sweater knitters in the group, and that's a lot of fun because this pattern is so great for beginning sweater knitters, and it's also fantastic for people who have been knitting garments for a long time. So the reason these are great is because, as you know, Coco knits are some of our favorite products. We've carried Coco knits for many, many years because we love the simplicity of them, we love the aesthetic of them, and we love the practicality of them. They work really, really well, and we've always loved them. So if you're going to be knitting this sweater or any additional sweaters going forward, you always want to have the proper tools on hand to take care of your sweaters and to block your sweaters. And blocking is important because it helps your garments keep their shape. It helps you to have garments that are really well finished. It helps the yarn to bloom. It helps your stitches to take shape so everybody can see the efforts of your hard work. So we've developed 2 little value bundles for you. I'm going to show those on the screen really quickly and talk about those. So first of all, you have your blocking value bundle. Now in this, you're going to get your whole knitter's block, which is that gray case you see there with the blocking mats. It also includes your T-pins, so you can secure your garment to those mats for drying. And then it also includes the check your gauge cloth, which is really helpful when you're trying to measure things out to make sure that your garment with the sizes that you have stitched up are going to meet the gauge that you were shooting for. You're also going to receive a sweater care bag, a washing bag. That's the light thing there. Also a super absorbent towel, which I'm going to show you mine in just a minute. I'm going to show you a few of these things in just a moment so you can see them sort of in real life. And then you're also going to receive a 12-ounce bottle of soak, which is a fantastic wool wash. It smells delightful, and you don't have to rinse it when you wash your garment. I love not having that second step. So this is a great kit to have for blocking your garment, anything at all, really. You can block multiple things with this. It doesn't have to be a sweater. The nice thing about these bundles is that we've put the items together and we've given you savings. So if you were to purchase these items individually, you'd spend more money, grab the bundle, and you're able to get them for a reduced cost. Now, there are only a few of each of these bundles available in the shop. And so I encourage you to go ahead and snag them fast. The link is in your newsletter, but we thought this would be a great time to introduce these. Your sweater care value bundle is on the other side of this slide, and you're going to have some duplicate products here, but some different products. So you're going to receive that 12-ounce bottle of soak. That's in our choice of fragrances for both of those. And then you're also going to receive your small sweater washing bag. Also, the check your gauge cloth is going to come to you in the sweater care value bundle, along with the sweater care brush, which is really nice, and the comb and refills. Now, they have redeveloped their comb from Coco Knits, so it's a slightly different model than you're used to seeing. They've kind of improved it a little bit, and we're also going to get a refill pack of the little comb. So that helps to take the pills off your sweaters. Again, we talked about this Thursday in the Yarn to Use, because even the best fibers, in fact, sometimes with the best fibers even more, you're going to get pills on some of your garments, and that little sweater comb is perfect for taking those pills out. So I use mine a lot. I need to use it on my mid-coast right now because it's gotten a little shaggy. So I definitely need to do that. But that's not a sign of anything, a problem with the yarn. That's all about your use. Friction on fiber is going to cause those small pills. So you're going to get it on your socks. You're going to get on your sweaters, particularly under the arms and that area. So it's something that it's really good to be prepared for so you can take care of it. So I'm going to show you a couple of those things really quickly. And I'm going to tell you something that was really surprising to me. When I first started using the Coco Knits and they came out with the sweater care bags, the washing bags, I was so excited because when I block, like say my Beautifully Basic tees, they, the fibers get wet, they tend to like drape down, they tend to grow. How many of you have experienced that? Like you're in the bucket or in the washing tub, washing them out, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's stretching and it's everywhere. And then before I know it, I am soaked with water. I was so excited about these washing bags because they help to contain your garment or your shawl or whatever you're working on, so you don't kind of have it going all over, so you don't feel like you need to be an octopus to be able to grab all the corners of your garment. Because I'm serious, the first couple times I blocked something, I had water everywhere, including on me, because I'm a big girl. And my sweaters are big already. And then when they're wet and they're heavy, they're like the water's splashing everywhere. So I was really excited about this. So the very first one I grabbed, I was like, I'm a big girl. So I'm going to get the large sweater washing bag because that's what I'm going to need. It's huge. This is the big sweater care washing bag from Coco Knits. It is massive. And I opened it up and I was like, okay, for one sweater, that's not going to do me a lot of good because it's still going to be like, I'll be juggling it and it'll be everywhere because it's going to be wet. So very quickly, I put my large bag away. Like it has never been used. So I graduated, if you will, to the small sweater care washing bag. And it's perfect. So my BBT fits in here perfectly. And like I said, I'm a big girl, so my BBTs are of a certain size. And it does look small, I'll give you that. But it unzips. My BBT fits in there. I'm able to get all the portions of the sweater wet and in the wool wash in the bucket or in the sink and get it washed perfectly. But it doesn't travel all over the place and it doesn't splash me with water. So I like this. It's like your kind of typical lingerie bag or gentle care washing bag. It's permeable, so the water and the wool wash gets through. But I wanted to show you this because if you were looking at one of those bundles and thinking, why'd she give us the small one? I'm going to need the big one. No, you're not. I think you're really going to like this size better. So bigger is not always better. I'm just saying. So that is that size. And then I wanted to show you, this is worse for the wear, but this is my super absorbent towel. And I use this all the time. I love this. It's kind of felty. It washes well, but once you kind of squeeze the water, you never wring your sweaters when you're blocking them or washing them. You don't wring the water out. You gently squeeze the water out. And then you can lay it out on your super absorbent towel flat. And then you roll it up. And if you're like me, you get on the floor and use your knees and roll it up even harder and tighter to get as much water out as possible. And that helps you to really manage the water. So it's huge. I'll undo it for you. It's a little worse for the wear. So this has been used multiple times, but it's massive. Got the Coco Knits logo on it. Let me show you that. There it is. Can you see that? So it's big. It's plenty of space to roll up your sweater or your garment multiple times. How many of you are using these already? I'm curious. And then your knitter's block is this wonderful kit. Comes in this great bag, which I love. It has the T-pins with it. My T-pins are not in here at the moment. But yeah, it comes in this great bag. And these are the blocks. And you get your T-pins as well. And I love these because they're modular. They fit together like puzzle pieces. One side kind of has this fabricy, felty side to it. The other side is more of the foam. And they fit together like puzzle pieces. So you can put them in any shape that you need them. So for example, if I'm doing a sweater, I typically just put it in a rectangular shape to accommodate the sweater. But if you're doing like a triangular shawl or something like that, you can put it in the shape that best suits the item that you're putting on it. And then your T-pins go right in here. Before I had this, I was blocking on my bed. And so I had all these little holes like in the comforter and things from my T-pins. Wasn't the smartest thing I could have done, but this is better because it protects my bed. And I actually lay it out on an island that I have in the studio, turn the fan on and things dry really, really quickly. So that's part of what's going to come in your knitter's block. So I just wanted to show you a few of those items so you could get a sense of them. And as I mentioned, some of those things kind of, overlap. Some of those, like the washing bag, you're going to get both in the blocking value bundle as well as the sweater care value bundle. So I love it. Mary's like, no, I don't get on my knees. Why would I do that? I step on it. That's a good way to do it too. So I have to tell you, the last couple of times I got on my knees to do that, I was like, ooh, what am I thinking? So smart. I guess I should just step on it. Good clue. So those are available to you right now on the website. And speaking of sweaters, I'm so excited about our super sweater make along with the beautifully basic tee. And it's going to be a lot of fun. My yarn, I wanted to get it caked up this week and I didn't do it. So I have to though, because that starts on Saturday. Let me know if in the comments if you're doing it. I know several of you are doing it. And if you ordered your kit along the deadline time, then your kit has already been shipped to you. And several of you have shared them in the Yarn to Use, and it's so much fun seeing the kits that you're choosing. I know some of you are doing some stash diving for kits, and others of you have placed some special orders for kits, and then still others are still ordering kits. They're still available on the website. We just won't be able to get them to you by Saturday. But as I've mentioned several times before, one of the beautiful things about the knit-alongs that we do in the Yarn to Use or the make-alongs is you don't have to have a finished project. All you need to do to participate is pick your yarn. It needs to be olive and 2U yarn, and then you just post in the official thread in the Yarn to Use. And the more times you post your progress pictures, the more chances you have to win. So how cool is that? Nobody needs the pressure of feeling like, oh gosh, I've got to get this done in the prescribed number of weeks. I mean, I hope you finish it because it's a great garment to wear, but you know, things happen in life, right? Sometimes we even lose our mojo for knitting or crocheting. It happens. So this is really amenable to that. You can make the schedule work for you. So just use olive and 2U yarn, post your pictures, your progress pictures, you'll be prize eligible. And the grand prize is a $100 gift card to the shop. So that's pretty cool. Who doesn't want $100 in free yarn or notions? I'm just saying. So there's still time to get in on that event if you haven't yet sort of got yourself figured out. You've got time to figure it out. I'm very excited about it. And one of the reasons that we chose this particular pattern is because it is so great for people who either this is their first sweater or for people who just want to bang another sweater out. And it's good for social knitting as well. There's no short rows in it. There's minimal shaping, just some increases and decreases. So it's really simple. It's a very approachable pattern. So that's why we chose it. Anyway, so some of us have several of them already. And some of us who have several of them are going to knit another one. Dion's got something going on. She's going to finish the long sleeve BBT she's already got on the needles. She started it for her first Scotland trip. Time to finish. I agree. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be amazing. Speaking of seeing things, I want to move on to our whip segment. As I say every week, or every week that we do the whips, but it's always true. You all are always crocheting and knitting up some beautiful things. And I think it's inspiring to see what you've been working on. So let's take a quick look at what you've got going on. All right, first up, speaking of the Beautifully Basic tee, we've got one right there from Judy Conk. So she got a head start. Oops, she said. I'm not sure it was an oops, but it's beautiful. She said she wanted to get started because she's kind of living in a time of uncertainty right now. She used Rawlings from her stash, Opaline's Bookshop. This was from an earlier Spin Me a Yarn Literary Society installment. So that's a great example too of how you can just stash yarn and pull it out when it's appropriate. And this was so perfect because of the way it kind of striped and pooled. It has that neat kind of arrow or shard look to it. And I think it is absolutely stunning and a great example of a Beautifully Basic tee, or BBT as we call it. So good job, Judy. Next up, we've got Jennifer. So she said, this is a whip. And honestly, once it's done on the blocking board, it is finished. So that's pretty cool. This particular pattern was in a book, a crochet book called The Cuffed Shawl. And there's something about the way this pattern works when the buttons are applied and then buttoned in a particular way. There is a really cute little ruffle that emerges. So I know she's anxious to see how exactly that comes out, but like anything else, if you follow the pattern, it typically works out for you. So that's going to be so good looking. And then she has a second one as well. Look at this. She finished her Willow Tree Granny Square top. So she used olive and 2U yarn and Easter egger and cream leg bar. And she did this just looking at a pattern. She didn't have an actual pattern, but she saw a picture that she loved. And so she did it by eye. So people talk about sight singing music. This is like sight crocheting a pattern. I think it's genius. Not to mention it looks great on her. And she had the perfect dress to wear it over. So I know she got a lot of comments in the Yarn to Use. Everybody was oohing and awing over that because it looks so good. All right, next up, Cheryl. So she's working on the leaflet shawl. And it is gorgeous in that sea glass colorway. Now that was a vintage sea glass colorway that we no longer carry in the shop. Although we've got another sea glass colorway that I'm looking at across the studio because it's begging for me to get started on a sweater. But I love how this is already going for Cheryl. It's beautiful. You can see the texture on it there. Really a gorgeous pattern. And peeking out from behind her, I just want to say, I think everybody's gotten their picnic box now. That's part of the project bag that was in the picnic box. How cute is that? I love how she staged that photo. All right, Glenda is working on a sock. It's her very first sock, and she did a good job. She made it to the heel flap, but she said she was taking lots of notes because she's got to make another one. So well done, Glenda. I know a lot of people get intimidated by doing socks, so I'm always impressed when people like just bite the bullet and do it. Next up, Cindy Titus. I think this might be the start to her BBT. I don't remember the name of this colorway. It too, I think, was a vintage olive and 2U colorway, but I love the photo of seeing the progress as it begins. I love seeing things as they start and then seeing progress kind of along the way. So don't wait. You don't need to wait until you make significant progress. We like to see cast on all the way to bind off and see what's happening, or if you're crocheting that foundation chain and then binding it off as well. It's always a lot of fun to see those progress pictures. Plus, like I said, the more you post, the more chances you have to win. So you don't want to miss out on that. Speaking of winning, who loves baseball? Baseball, anybody? I'll be honest, my family was kind of mediocre baseball. Like, I didn't grow up rooting for a particular team, but my dad did sometimes have it on the television. And I learned something really interesting about baseballs and yarn. I'm just saying, don't tell us in the comments if you know, but our play ball event is going to be September 5th, the evening of September 5th at Needleworks in Winter Park, Florida. And I'm really, really excited about it because we're also offering Studio X Stream, which means that we're going to have a simultaneous virtual event at the same time. That's what simultaneous means, Michelle. Don't be redundant. At the same time, we're going to be broadcasting virtually. So even if you're not able to be at Needleworks, you'll be able to be a part of the Play Ball, a Home Run Beanie Game event. Get your ticket now. Several of you already have, and you've got a choice of 3 ticket levels. You can get standing room only, which is a really basic ticket level where you'll enjoy the game at home without the virtual event or the in-person event. Or you can get your bleacher tickets and you can attend either virtually or in person at Needleworks, or you can get your luxury box ticket and get all the goodies. Each ticket has a different stage of the goodies that you're going to get, but we're all going to be working on the same basic project. So you do want to go ahead and get registered for that. That's going to be closing really soon because we have preparation to do, as any good baseball team does. So if you love baseball or somebody in your family loves baseball, you want to do this event. Trust me, it is the most innovative and unique event we've ever done at Olive and 2U Studios. It's got a lot of moving parts, but that's what makes it super, super fun. It's not just about the beanie. Like, the beanie is a piece of it, but there's a little clue here. It's not just about the beanie. And you get to choose your team color yarn so that you can integrate it into the beanie. And the most exciting thing, well, there's 2 really exciting things. First of all, this is a collaboration with Mary and Marjorie of M&M So Charming. You all know them. They are active in the Yarn Use. But the other really, let's see what I was going to say. The other really cool thing about it is you'll be able to make a beanie, but there's something very, very special about the beanie that you're not going to want to miss out on. So it's a very cool event. Like I said, and it's filled with extras and goodies, and you're going to learn something kind of amazing about baseball and baseballs. And if you've got anybody in your life who loves baseball, you don't want to miss out on this event. So go ahead and get signed up, get your ticket so we can close the event. So we've got all the people in the bleachers or the luxury box seats or standing room only who are ready for the fun. You're going to learn something that you can even share with others at a later time, and your family is going to be wowed. And yes, that's the other piece also, Mary, is that there is a crochet pattern. You knew I missed that up, didn't you? You knew I couldn't remember. There's a crochet pattern, and it's not a matter of, oh, I crochet, so I'm getting like the leftover extras. No, it's a really awesome crochet pattern. And I'm hoping that Mary can share a little bit about it later, about sort of the origin of it. But there's a knit pattern and there's a crochet pattern that you're going to have access to in it. And yeah, it's the coolest thing ever. So whether you're a knitter or a crocheter, you got somebody in your family who loves baseball, or you love baseball. Valera says, go Cubs. We all know she's a big Cubs fan. She's doing all the socks and the Cubs colors. Play ball is going to be here. So we'll be having some fun at Needleworks and also virtually for that event. And then on Saturday is our second Solely Socks event. It too is going to be baseball themed, but in a different way. There's going to be concessions in the form of yarn. And then there's also going to be prizes, of course. We're going to have some fun sort of baseball things going on for Solely Socks. So whether you are a cranker or you're a hand sock knitter, there's going to be something there for you, including yarn dyeing. How fun is that? Again, Mary and Marjorie from M&M So Charming will be collaborating on this event. They are both very adept sock crankers, so they'll be on hand to help you with your circular sock machine, help you with some cranking. But they are also hobby dyers extraordinaire, meaning they're not into dyeing to make a business or sell their yarn or knit blanks. They just like dyeing. And they have these dye days where they get together. How fun is that? Something to do with Fiber Besties. So they are going to be running our yarn dyeing event. This time we're going to be doing yarn skeins. Now, if you really want a sock blank, we can make that happen. All you need to do is send me an email, let me know, and we'll get you a sock blank to dye instead of yarn. But other than that, they're going to be helping you through tips and tricks and helping you sort of dye your own skein of yarn. And then you can use it for socks or anything that you want. And if you want to do more than one skein of yarn, we can absolutely accommodate that as well. They'll have multiple colorways on hand. Everything will be prepped. So you'll just get to walk in and do the fun bits and create your own yarn colorway. And you'll walk away with some tips and tricks about how to dye some yarn at home, so you too can be a hobby yarn dyer. Now that's Saturday, September 6th. That's from 9 to 5. Of course, you can come and go. Typically, we make those events a little bit longer because circular sock crankers really, really like to have as much time as possible to sit and crank socks. And when you have to set up a machine, it takes a few minutes. And so that's an all-day event. We're going to be bringing in lunch from Panera. You have a chance of what you want in your registration. And you can choose also your concession combos, which are yarn combos. You're going to get yarn, you're going to get minis, you're going to get extra goodies, and you're going to get savings if you purchase your concessions in your registration before you arrive at the event. Of course, we'll have Needleworks open for shopping for all the goodies, but you want to get your combos in advance. That way they can be prepped, so to speak, but you still get to choose it all. But you'll get a savings for that. We're going to have prizes on hand. You'll get an event bag as part of your registration and all kinds of goodies. So whether you're a brand new circular sock machine enthusiast or you've been cranking socks and tubes for a while, either way, it's good. It's always fun to set up, get a little bit of help from Mary and Marjorie and other sock crankers. Little known fact, I think I've mentioned it on the podcast before, there's a lot of sock crankers that are not hand knitters. They're just crankers. And the same culture that permeates the knitting and crochet culture, like, fiber friends are the best friends and we help each other out, also permeates the circular sock machine culture. So there'll be people there to kind of come alongside you and help out and share information and tips and tricks. So it's always fun to watch it when crankers get together, because invariably somebody learns a new technique that they haven't been able to do before. A circular sock machine, I think for some, can be intimidating, even once you order it and it's delivered and you put it together and you watch the videos and you're like, okay, I can do this, but I don't know how to do that. And it's a little intimidating to try by yourself because, oh my gosh, what if the stitches drop? You can fix them. But there's something about having somebody sitting next to you, somebody who's kind of been down that path before, that's really helpful. And that's what a crank-in provides, is that community. So even if you're just curious about sock cranking, you're welcome to come as well. Have a little fun that day. There's going to be prizes and good things happening, so you don't want to miss out. All kinds of stuff happening, y'all. And then the gift shop on the Olive and To You website has been restocked this week. We're all abuzz about the goodies. There's some fun bee-themed things in it. So I happen to see, I'm not going to give too many details away, but I happen to see a fun little hat that is in the design process this week that has a bee theme. And a lot of folks are into bees and hives and hexagons and all those kinds of fun things. So we've got some super cute new things in the gift shop right now. Again, at a discount on the Olive and To You website. So you want to check that out. Now that link is in your newsletter. And there's also, of course, links right here below where you can shop directly here on YouTube, which makes it super convenient. You don't have to leave the space. Oh, look, Valera is still on the baseball thing because Tracy's sharing information. Look at the cute baseball in the chat. I love it so much. So those are the things that are happening. And yeah, there's a lot on the horizon. I'm meeting with some people this week about some new collaborations happening. And I can't say too much about this next thing, but there's going to be an event coming up in November that I will be giving you more details about. It is a free event. And like so many, you'll have a chance at some upgraded levels so you can get some more fun bonuses. But it's a free, I want to say 4-day event that'll be happening in November. And I've been invited to be a speaker at it. So I'm very excited about that. And I can't wait to share it with you and have the Yarn of You show up. You're going to love it. It's going to help to beef up your knitting toolbox and or crochet toolbox. I think there's going to be some sessions on crochet as well. Completely free, but again, with those upgrade options. So as soon as I get the word that I can share about that, I'll be sharing about it and the topic that I'm speaking on. It's a workshop that I've done once before, a couple times before actually, at a fiber show and then at a retreat. And I'm very excited about being able to share it. And it would mean a lot to me if you all were there to kind of support me. So plus it's going to do you a lot of fun and good to be there. It is not the first event of its kind. I want to say this is the 3rd or 4th year maybe, but I'll be sharing more about it. I have a feeling a few of you are already starting to sleuth and think about what that might be, because some of you are really big into doing all those sorts of events. So yeah, Lonnie, you're one of the ones I just thought about. I bet she's thinking of it. And you're right. That was the next thing. New Fiberside chats are coming in the fall as well. And she says, how is it August already? Yeah. You know, I was thinking about this week. I was sharing with one of my good friends about how we had some 90 some odd degree temperatures that were pretty intense. I mean, we did get some air units here at the house to try to deal with that, because it was just the days that we didn't have the air conditioning units. It was so hot. I couldn't cook. I couldn't eat. And I really couldn't think. I don't know about you, but when you're so hot, it just feels like there's a turtleneck sweater all up around your face. And so we had to get some air. But lately, the temperatures are trending down. Like I said, it was in the 50s overnight. It's cool today. I think the high today is 79 or 80. But up here, I found out the temperatures start to slowly trend down in August and then in September. And I was told you'll have some hot days in September too. But my new hairdresser, Nia, who's awesome, I said, so when do you like pack away the air conditioning units? And she said she usually waits till about mid to late September is when she feels like it's really safe to do it. So I have a little bit of like survivor's guilt. That's a terrible way to say it, because I know that Florida is so incredibly hot in so many other states. And yet here it's been beautiful. In fact, it was chilly this morning. I got up and had to put on my flannel PJs to be warm this morning while I was drinking my tea. So I don't hate that, but I feel bad for the other folks who don't have the coolness right now for the relief. So hang in there. And like I said, stay hydrated, try to stay healthy. Don't, try to stay cool. If you need to go to like a mall or something, I know a lot of times they have cooling places there that you can do that. And so you want to stay definitely safe and hydrated and deal with the warm temperatures. So lots of fun things happening at Olive and To You. We've got Soli Socks for our sock crankers coming up, as well as Play Ball. Of course, we've also got our studio stream for our needle felted snowman. The last time I looked, we had 1 or 2 seats left on that because we sold out, and I was able to get a couple more kits through a funny little mistake I made. And so, but once those are gone, they're gone. Your kits will be shipped out this week to you if you've already signed up for the very first studio stream, the needle felted snowman. And I wanted to mention, as part of our regular studio streams, like the needle felted snowman, you're going to receive a bonus, and you're also going to get discounts as a participant in those for a limited time. It will be recorded, so you'll be able to watch later in case something comes up and you can't make it live, but you're going to get an awesome bonus. In fact, this particular bonus that the folks in the needle felted snowman group are getting, something that was kind of created almost specifically just for that. So how fun is that? So you want to get signed up for that as well. And yeah, lots of things happening. I'm looking forward to being back at Needleworks for a weekend there in September and seeing as many Yarny U's as possible. So get your registrations in. Let's play ball. Let's have fun cranking some socks. And until then, I will see you in the Yarny U's. My name is Michelle. I'm with Olive and 2U Studios here typically every Saturday morning at 9:30 in the morning. Give us a thumbs up, please, if you haven't done so already. It's always a good idea if you sign into your YouTube account. Sometimes I don't think it'll let you give a thumbs up unless you're signed in. But give us a thumbs up if you will. And be sure to subscribe and share the podcast with your friends and your knitting groups. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay safe, enjoy your stitching, and I'll see you in the Yarny U's. Take care, y'all. Bye.